Greetings, Earthlings. I thought I would do a real quick kind of off-the-cuff video here. I just finished shooting another video at the park about integration that I'll be putting up shortly, but I thought I would put up kind of a quick video before that I wanted to kind of share with you here. So I just wrote a blog post yesterday about a 7-day challenge that I just completed, which, was self-led. It was just an idea I had with myself to apply a technique that I've been learning called core transformation that I'd actually learned quite a while ago, but I kind of decided just to kind of go deeper on and study because I'm thinking about teaching it to you guys, and I want to just kind of play with it, use it more, and see what would happen if I tried it out consistently, because this is one of those high-power techniques, for 7 days in a row. And the results were phenomenal. I don't want to spoil it all, but I wrote a blog post about it, and I'll have the link below here. So if you want to go see kind of what my experience of that was, that'll be up there for you. But as I was writing the blog post, as often happens when I write, an insight kind of popped out, and just a way of thinking about this that I've been kind of stewing on popped out that I want to offer to you guys as food for thought. So, very often, again, just to be clear for anyone who's new to the channel, to me, I'm not a licensed therapist. I want to be clear about that. I talk about, I do, psychedelic change work. I do coaching around psychedelics. I do integration work. I am trained and I study a lot of psychology. So I'm literate in a lot of this stuff to some degree and trained in a lot of shit, but I'm not legally a therapist. So I can't diagnose, and technically speaking, I can't treat a diagnosed mental illness, right? So I gotta be clear about that with you guys. But most of the people who come to me, generally, in their minds, in their words, they want help with usually some sort of anxiety issue, depression issue, or trauma issue. These are the three most prevalent descriptions, let's say. I think, and this is a whole other video, that if you get deeper into it, there's probably a more accurate way of describing what the person's struggling with that represents the problem, that maybe doesn't have an easy term like anxiety or depression, but might be more true to what's actually going on inside. But that's a point for another video. Anyways, what I want to get to here is this idea popped out while I was writing my blog post, and I recommend you go read it. And what I had said in this point was, maybe you don't have depression. What if what you're thinking of as depression, what I'm thinking of as anxiety, what we all think of as trauma, what if what that really is disconnection? What if what you have is an experience of disconnect, and you don't know what to connect to or how, and you don't know how you got into this experience of disconnection, but that's really what's driving the symptoms, the somatic sensations, the body sensations, the thought loops, the emotional loops of whatever you might describe as depression or anxiety or PTSD, trauma, or all the other stuff that people often deal with these days. And for me, this is a really compelling, kind of emotionally, spiritually resonant idea. And, I realize that I'm kind of parroting a bit of a new age cliche here when I say this, but I think it's really worth thinking about. What if a good chunk of what we call mental illness is disconnection? And what if, and this is the thing I learned from my 7-day challenge with core transformation, is connection to what? That's the fucking question here, right? If my anxiety is disconnection, what is it I'm feeling disconnected from in the first place? If my depression is really disconnection, where's the disconnection so I can fucking fix it, right? This is what we all need to know. Here's what I'm proposing. What core transformation showed me in no uncertain terms. And what I keep seeing with every client I use it with is that it is connection to our core states, to our core way of being, not even who we are, but what we are at the deepest core level. That's what we need connection with. It's not connection to other people. It's not connection with our mother or our father in the past. It's not connection with X, Y, or Z. It's connection with this, with our core states. And a core state, by the way, is really, it's an experience of ourselves at the level of being. And there really are no really good, perfect words for it. We can use different descriptors like silence or being or presence or peace maybe, or love if it's like just a radiant, it's just I am love kind of love, you know, an agape love. These experiences aren't in reaction to anything. These types of states aren't in response to life. They aren't strategies. They aren't conditioned. They're before conditioning. They are your core states of being. And I think psychedelics illustrate this beautifully. I think if you've ever had a really good experience in psychedelics, maybe you had a moment of really just being in touch with your core and just shining from it and just feeling like balanced and clear and adaptive and present and alive and filled with joy and filled with curiosity and love and enthusiasm and or calm or just zen or just being. And the question I'm posing to you, as directly as I can pose it here, is what if that's the medicine to your depression, to your anxiety, to your PTSD experience, is that underneath it all, you've fallen out of connection with your own being. And it's a subtle dance. The world constantly is inviting us and kind of tricking us and seducing us. And it really goes back to early childhood and the fact that we are dependent as little children and we do need things from outside. The world reinforces this perception that I need something outside of myself in order to be. But that's clearly not the case. And so I just want to pose that question to you. What if? You know, what if we can describe these same experiences through that lens instead? How does that change things for you? I'd love to know. Leave a comment below in the comment section and watch the space shortly, because I will have an awesome video, I'm pretty happy with it, about integration on the way. Okay, take care.